I mean, you've been on TV, dog. Like, you know what's up.
You
like,
know,
you ain't
had a little practice this year.
you ain't no rookie to the game.
You guys are good whenever.
You can start whenever. Drop in there. Okay. Where you guys coming from?
Crib,
Just a grab.
crib, man.
Yeah.
Busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah, school's out, so
So like kids are like free. So you got a ton.
it's different.
Yeah.
We had a kid. We had track and field state champs on Saturday at IU.
Yep.
We qualified a relay, and one of our boys quit because he didn't run the race that qualified us.
Dang.
His family pulled up to the meet, and they wanted their money back because he didn't run.
What?
I'm like, I played basketball,
Yeah.
and my mom came to games, and I didn't play. She ain't gonna make a scene.
Right.
So,
But
I get it, though.
we all know parents that would though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And I think the situation was kind of like I didn't really have the means to come to the meet. I get it, the
Yeah.
emotion behind it.
Yeah.
But he made it a big deal, and
Wow.
he quit. And he just called me on the way here.
Wow.
He was like, "I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I come back?" So I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
But he couldn't afford. I said, "Some school's out. We got summer track coming." So he's like, "I can't afford to train or to pay the fees when we travel." I was like, "I'm not gonna let a couple $100 stop your future, bro.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
figure that out."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just crazy.
Hey, we have those moments, especially when you have an opportunity to allow someone to excel or succeed. And I think you did the right thing. But sometimes, letting them go is a teachable moment as well.
That was my thought process.
Yeah.
But I was like I'm trying to express
You
to him,
know
like,
the kid better than I do. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where, especially like track and field is one of those sports, like no one that's good at track wants to be good at track. You want to be good at something else,
Oh, okay, I get it.
you know?
Yeah.
And
They're usually like a real good football player or something like, but they're really good at track, and if they focused on track, they could be great at track.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
know a
they're-
lot of athletes like that.
Or they're really sorry.
Yeah.
Like I was okay. But there's some people that like, it's like, oh, this didn't. I love to hoop, but
Yeah.
it's not going that way.
Right.
So track.
Yeah, right.
We're like the fallback option, but I love it though.
Good.
I love it.
All right, you ready to start?
Let's roll.
Okay, do it. Welcome to the Follow D Money podcast. This week, I have a new friend of mine. I was introduced to this person by Victoria Wilburn, who is a guest of the podcast. And she told me that I had to have Aboshioma Obemeata on my podcast because he's an exceptional young man and he's doing a lot of things for the community of Indianapolis. And I want to welcome him on the show. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
The pleasure's on mine. Thanks for having me, bro. Seriously.
It's funny because most people know I also work for Southwest Airlines, and I'm at the gate, I'm at the door, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "I know you," and I was like, I said, "You look familiar," and he was like, "I'm Sho." He was like, I was like, "Sho," and he's like, Victoria introduced me. I was like, yeah. I was like, man. I was like, why haven't we done this yet? Because we've been talking about it for a minute.
You know what's funny? I know exactly who you were. I was like, I didn't want to like lead it with like, yo, and you were like, yo. So
yeah,
I did the like, I think
yeah, that
even
was
though I know exactly who you were. Yeah. No,
yeah.
shout out to you, bro.
But I'm so glad that happened because it jump started. It gave me a push to get you on, and I'm glad you're sitting right here.
My
It was literally like a week, maybe 10 days later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man.
Oh man.
I know you're a busy man.
We're all busy. We're all chasing something.
We all chasing something. But I think the reason why I have you on here is because of we were just having just a little conversation, but the type of person you are and what you're doing is super dope. And if you could just first, give us some background history, where you're from, how you got to what you're doing.
For sure. So the name Shoma is Nigerian. Both my parents are Nigerian.
Yep.
My mother was born in the UK. She moved back to Nigeria, schooled there. My grandma bought her a one-way ticket to England. She said, "Go discover your birthplace after college," and that was it.
Wow.
She met my father there. I'm a early '90s baby.
Okay.
You know, the real ones.
You're a millennial? Oh.
I know how to move technology. No, but yeah, so born in England to Nigerian parents.
Yep.
I ended up in the Bronx halfway through my freshman year of high school. And my mom was just kind of like, yeah, let's just move.
Yeah, that got to be traumatizing.
It was, but I was like, I could be LeBron. I was like really tall.
Yeah.
Like you, I mean, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I was like, yo, I want to follow my dream playing basketball. It's not encouraged in England.
And really? They like soccer.
Oh, yeah. Soccer, it's cricket, it's rugby, it's a lot of other sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, my thing was like, you know, I had a lot of family in New York, so it was kind of like, yeah, let's go discover that.
Yep.
But then like hearing the story about how that even happened was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, my sister's father, he actually, it's crazy. He like never like separated from his ex-wife and was like, yeah, I'm not going.
Oh.
So my mom was like, okay, great. So we got to move in like 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like, so it was a lot of stress. So now I'm older, I can understand it.
Yeah.
But she always did it just for us, our future to be something better than what she had. And she wants to give us the best.
So the United States was just a way of getting away from that situation.
She wants to get closer to family. So like typically with African cultures or Nigerian culture, I'll speak specific to Nigerians, but you kind of like discover what we call Western, culture. So the U.S. or England, most people land professionally or to do college, and then they'll find a professional footing from there. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, 4 of her siblings were already in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, why not?
Yeah.
So
that's kind of like me. Like, so I have 0 family in Indiana. All my family's in L.A.
Oh, okay.
So not as grand of what you did, but I understand. But if I went back to L.A., I would feel a lot more comfortable than just being here by myself.
Why did you move?
A woman.
Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, right. I did not like Indiana when I moved here. It took a lot of maturity. It took a lot of education. It took a lot of growth from me to accept Indiana as a place where I will create something and build something. It took a long time. And I'm here though. I'm here now. I have a podcast here. I do events here. I have friends. I'm building a legacy here, but it's Indiana.
Oh. Lauren, you hear that?
Is she from Indiana?
She's West Side, man.
Okay. All right.
She gets sensitive on the topic, but it's Indiana, as you said.
It is Indiana.
But all right. So what maturity was it that you had to go through that you were like, all right, this is home. Let me make the best of the situation. What was that?
Initially, it was the differences of perspective of how I view the world was the hardest thing to accept here. This is a slower pace. It's a different view of the world than I have. What I had to accept was the different perspective doesn't come from a place of hate all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I just had this conversation before you came in that ignorance is a time for me to teach. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when people are ignorant, I have to give them my perspective, and they have the choice to grow from that perspective or to not. And then I choose from there. So a lot of ignorance is here. It's also hate, but it's not as much hate as I thought when I first got here. So then once I accepted that and I grew and I accepted that, hey, I would just keep meeting people and telling them my perspective and letting them know that, I feel this way because, and go from there. I grew so much and built so many relationships that this place became way more comfortable for me.
Was this amongst the Black community or just
White.
among? Okay.
Yeah, white. I mean, I have a lot more in common with Black people, no matter where I go. It's white people in the Midwest that have a different perspective than me. So it's like, you know, they don't have the same experiences here,
sure,
you know. So until they meet someone that does have different experiences and have a conversation about it, then I can't judge them on how they feel. I shouldn't judge them on how they feel. I shouldn't, because I haven't given them the opportunity to think about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Minus the judgment part, I feel the same way with that Black people here actually.
Same
in the US.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, especially being from England, it's almost like you're an African, and I think like the misconceptions or the easy like critiques or you think we're better, or I speak clearer, I don't, or whatever.
Right.
However it's defined, it's like, you think you're better than me.
Yeah, there's
like,
also a barrier between Africans and Black Americans.
for sure.
Absolutely. And I think that like, that experience is different for me because I'm not in direct, like I don't have the African experience here. I have a Black experience
For
here.
sure.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm a different breed, so no, I'm not going to discriminate against anyone. Me, period. So I look at you as a person who is discriminated against, no matter where it's coming from.
For sure.
Yeah.
And likewise.
Yeah. So advancement through athletics.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. How did you come up with this idea?
So I was a Division I athlete.
Yep.
Before I got to that stage, as I said, I moved from England. I moved halfway through my freshman year. My sophomore year, my mom graduates with a master's. She has to be in school for us to be like legal. She gets.
She was here on a visa.
We didn't have a. Excuse me, we had a visa, not a green card. Correct.
Yep.
So she gets a job at this university called Pace University. She's a professor there, but she also does a master's program.
Okay.
So my sophomore year, she finishes school. And when it came time out, now my junior year, I'm like, okay, I want to go to school. They say, well, you're not eligible for federal aid. You're not a citizen.
Wow.
So I have to apply to school as an international student. And I don't know if anyone knows the context of applying to college as an international student, but it's a lot harder.
I'm sure.
A lot less spots. Admission percentage is a lot lower. And then obviously there's no scholarship money.
Right.
So I have to get it a different way, merit-based. So that's when I had to kind of lock in. Long story long. Track and field was my route.
Yep.
And
so how did you get into track and field? Because you said hoop was your thing, right?
I wanted it to be.
But were you in track as well, though, the whole time?
Yeah. So my first sport was soccer.
Okay.
And then I did what we call athletics in England.
Yeah.
So I did athletics. I did 100, 200, all the sexy events.
Yeah.
And then I jumped. I
Yep.
did the high, long, and triple jump as well.
Okay.
Until I got beat by this kid, Chris Jennings. I'll never forget him. Chris Jennings whooped my ass.
Chris
12,
Jennings.
And I never ran a competitive 100 meters ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
But you lost to this guy, like you came in second?
No, I came like fourth in this race. But
okay.
yeah, Chris whooped my ass. But that's why I finished. I found
Chris
the triple.
Jennings. I wonder where Chris Jennings is right now.
He's probably, he's different. But I found the triple jump. So
Yep.
I've been in track and field for a long time.
Yep.
So when the came time to apply for school, I was 16 my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I had time to kind of like advocate for myself to coaches, and they didn't really care. It was like, all right, have you jumped far enough? Can you get into the school? And that's when I learned the realities of the recruiting process.
Yep.
So I land at a school called St. Francis College in Brooklyn, New York, which is about a train ride from where I was at in Westchester County,
Okay.
New Rochelle specifically.
Yep.
And, they gave me money. I ended up jumping far enough. Grades got better. I transferred to University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yep.
And had a successful career there, got a degree, which is most important, and reduced the burden of college education through sport.
Right.
So that was always my leverage. My mind was always, all right, so how can we leverage our talents to make this journey to college more affordable?
Yeah.
My first job out of school was with an organization called College for Every Student, which, self-explanatory, they believe college is for every student, not necessarily 4-year institutions, but 2-year vocational, anything higher ed.
Higher education, yeah. So like
For
you could be an electrician or plumber,
Absolutely.
yeah, all that.
Absolutely.
So they were this place found education for kids?
They impart. So they'll have like a curriculum that they'll bring to a high school and say, all right, these are the resources, these are things, trainings, exposure that you can kind of go through.
Yep.
And then hopefully it lands your scholars in a position to
Right.
enroll wherever they enroll.
Yep.
So I believed in the mission, but to me, it was always like sport.
Okay.
And it couldn't quite click for me that year. So I was a program director for them. I had a couple of New York City schools and a bunch of rural schools up in New York. Like, I'm the only Black person they've seen in person, kind of rural.
Right.
And they taught me a lot about kind of the trials and tribulations of college, navigating college, especially in these different areas geographically.
Yep. So even though you spent time, you got your degree, you were still trying to navigate how it works
for other people.
Right.
So I had
because you had a whole different experience.
Correct. Mine was very like, I didn't have a choice,
Yeah.
Like as
That's
an African, I'm an African kid. Like education is kind of the staple of what you do.
Yeah.
So going to college was never an option, not an option.
Right.
It was, how can I make it more affordable?
Yeah.
And then, the population of kids I would be working with, like, what do they really go through?
Right.
So, we had one scholar that first year. So I coached high school track and field at my alma mater, and had the privilege of coaching about 12 kids that year. 8 of them could have competed Division 1, 2, or 3.
Wow.
They're just too smart for the schools that their athletic performance was good enough for.
Right.
There's one young lady, her name is Saida Burns-Moore. She's the reason this program really exists.
Right.
So she's like oldest of 4 siblings from the Bronx. Mother and father did their absolute best, but just didn't have the experience that she needed. And she went to a school, New York City school where, there's not a whole lot of resources or space. So she and I crossed paths, and she ended up going to UDC. It's a Division II school, University of District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And she performed well enough. And I wrote to the University of Memphis on her behalf. I was going to do grad school there.
Yep.
And I knew it wasn't going to happen. But I was like, hey, look, I have this young lady in my fit your program. 2 days later, they offered her a full tuition scholarship.
Wow.
And she graduated there like 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow. And she competed.
She did.
Dang. Dope.
Excuse me, like 3 or 4 years ago. Pardon me. Time is flying.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah, she competed there. 4 school records, magna cum laude. And it's like, what could we be if people just help us?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I just kind of pushed her in the direction.
Right. And what would she have done without that letter? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. So how did you decide to do this in Indiana?
Yeah. Great question, man. I love this question. All right. So
you had to get to Indiana from New York.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I was as I said, I was applying to master's programs.
Yep.
And I ended up in Springfield, Massachusetts, where the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Springfield College. I was a grad assistant there.
Okay.
Again, money is super important. I need
to
leverage. If I'm gonna get education, I don't have the privilege of taking a lot of loans out. So I got a fellowship with the track and field program there. So I was able to coach, and I got my master's, and I studied the transition experience of Division I track and field athletes. Again, the thesis was important to me because I knew I want to take another step afterwards. So when I did the program, I got a job opportunity to come here to work with USA Track and Field.
Okay.
There's another step in there, but it's not really important. But I did a program at the Colorado Springs at the U.S. Olympic Committee training.
So that got you on the radar.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then that was between my first and second year of grad school.
Okay.
And then landed here 8 months later. They just called me.
USA Track and Field is in Indiana.
No one knows that. It's crazy. Yeah. Headquarters are in Washington, right by the bus stop, Washington and Delaware.
That's crazy. Yeah. I would have never known.
Yeah. We share a building with Angie's List, or Angie now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I landed there. I left in March, experienced the Olympic Games, experienced World Championships in Doha in 2019.
So what was your role with U.S. Olympics?
I was the international teams coordinator. So in high performance, there's the sports science side and the international teams. International teams does more of the logistics around processing teams and our athletes for international competition.
Yep.
So I was on that side, but we're all working with the elite athletes.
Yep.
So we had the privilege of serving the organization, supporting our athletes. So it was great. It was a great experience, but I knew it wasn't going to be it.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of lifers at USATF, and my boss knew I wasn't going to be one.
Right.
We talked about that like my first year.
So at what point did you know you had your own thing? Like that you wanted to do your own thing?
Before I even got here.
Okay.
Yeah, so my master's was like, this is the goal.
Yep.
Creating this research to be the foundation of the organization that would change how we think about college access through sport.
Right.
I still have this very grand idea about how we can make it easier on everyone. Especially we got NIL agreements and there's a lot of money in sports, right? We all want to make the right decision and right investment.
Right.
What can we put in place
Yep.
to navigate that? So
let's talk about what it is. Advancement through sports. What is it? What is the idea?
Our idea is primarily is making college affordable.
Yeah.
But redefining the college readiness. So the idea of what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a college readiness scale.
Okay.
So what does it mean to be college ready? Let me ask you that. What does it mean to be college ready?
If I had to guess what it meant to be college ready, I would assume that you had a certain level of education. You had financially, you would have to be ready to be in college. And other than that, I don't see any more tools that I can think of off the top of my head.
For sure. What was your education experience?
College.
What level?
University. I didn't get my degree, but I got 4 years in and finished. I just never walked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you think about your high school experience leading into college, and then you think about where you were when your college experience ended, what would have made the ending faster, easier, more helpful to navigate that you could have done 4 years earlier, 6 years earlier, 8 years earlier, 10 years earlier?
What could have helped it?
Yeah. What things could have been in place for you to?
Probably like counseling. Someone to tell me what I was going to experience. Someone that would help me know which classes to take. If I had known what subject I was studying, that would have helped.
See how your answer wasn't money or education?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not. There's there's a lot of smart people, or there's a lot of dumb people that get to really great places through education. There's a lot of ways to play a system. This is a system, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I have to kind of like conceptualize here in the U.S. You know, it's like there's rules,
Yeah.
and then there's the game.
Yeah.
And how do we play the game?
Yeah.
How do we play the game? The counseling that you probably would have needed is the private school that the next kid, the sophomore year, you know, guidance counselor session that the kid had in private school.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's just a different way of getting. We got to close the gap.
Yeah.
So that's what we're in the business of. So the kid I was telling you about, that he called me. I'm so thankful that he called me, because I wasn't gonna call him to be like, hey, your future,
Right.
in a year from now, God willing, you'll be signing a scholarship. I was at a college signing yesterday. One of our girls,
Nice.
she signed to Marion. They gave her $20,000
Dang.
to run. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's dope.
You know, but I don't want that kid to miss out, but also can't tell him like what to see for himself.
Right. You can't hold his hand.
He thinks he knows the game.
Yeah.
He barely knows the rules.
Right. Right.
And there's a lot of kids that way.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see advancement through sports in the next 3 years?
Advancement through athletics.
Advancement through athletics.
You good?
In the next 3 years, where do you see it?
Well, and this kind of comes back to the Indiana integration.
Yep.
I'm gonna give a really long answer.
Go ahead. Hey.
So a lot of times you start something new here, it's almost like you got to check in. You know, it's kind of like, hey, I want to build this. Yo, we was thinking about building that. All right, yeah, respect. It's not that they're gonna try and stop you, but it's like people don't really take you in until they know, like, yo, I acknowledge that you see me seeing you doing this.
Yeah.
So I think first and foremost, people need to know like who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we need to be a household name, especially not even just the track and field space, but the sports space in general. We are college readiness first and foremost. So sport is the secondary parts of what we do, but no one really cares about that side until it's like, oh, Indy Star, this person is attributed with this program. So people need to know us with the other sports programs. I ain't gonna give them no pub. They don't pay me no money.
Yep.
I'll talk about my work though. First and foremost, there. Second, we want to just keep enrolling our kids. So we have one, he signed a full scholarship to Indiana University. His name is John Colquitt, Brownsburg graduate. He just won 3 state titles on Saturday.
Wow. Nice.
And, you know, we're really proud of that work. So we just kind of got to, outside of people knowing who we are and what we do, we got to keep placing these kids and keep winning. Winning is the name of the game. That's also another lesson I had to really learn. You know, as much as I love to help, you got a big heart too. I'm sure you guys do. But it's like, no one really cares until it's like, yo, I can put my resume on the table. You can see, yo, you have to pay attention to me now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got to win. We got to place our kids and keep making impact. In 3 years from now, my goal was to do 5 years of this and then take the research that we have to a doctoral program. And that's where the college readiness scale comes in.
Wow.
College readiness for athletes.
Yep.
We have a track and field population right now. Our research is really targeted now, but ultimately I want to create a quantifiable scale to say this is what it means to be college ready as an athlete.
Dang, that'd be a good thesis.
You know?
Yeah. What does it look like to get into your program? What does it take?
There's very few barriers. You know, we have a website. On the website is just information.
What's the website? Shout it out.
atathletics.org.
Pretty dope. All right.
Yeah.
Athletics.
atathletics.org.
Yeah. That's it.
atathletics.
There you go.
Yep.
Look it up.
We're a 501c3 organization where, you know, we can take funding, grants, and all that.
There you go.
Thank you. So our membership is $40 a month.
Okay.
We are very low barriers. We're just
Yep.
trying to get our kids in.
Yep.
Liability waivers and all that good stuff. But
How many people are with you? Is it just you?
no, definitely not anymore.
Right.
We have 2 coaches. We have a director of research.
Yep.
We have, obviously, we're a 501c3. We have a board. We have a senior advisory board as well.
Yep.
And so we have a lot of minds behind this.
Yep.
And we need it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I mean, we could talk, man. I used to like this is my thing.
Right.
And I want, not that I think people would discredit me if I share it, but I don't want to get misconstrued. So I'll be very protective of my thing.
Yeah. I understand.
I'm like, I want to help you, but I want to help you, you know?
Yeah.
Can you relate?
I can relate. Yeah.
How did you get out of that?
I think you just got to let it go. If you want to, if it's your thing, it's going to be there. You're passionate about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to let it go, and then you don't stop. No matter what, your passion is going to be there, and it's going to shine through no matter what. And you got to follow your heart when it's your passion, right?
For sure.
So you can't let minor or things stop you from where you want to go along the way, because we talked about you having a big heart, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So don't close your heart because of your passion. Your passion is when your heart opens up. That's what I think.
For sure.
So I mean, that's my advice to you. Just keep going.
No, for sure.
No matter what.
I'm taking that.
Yeah.
I'm taking that for sure. Like, it took me like, you want something so bad, you get it, and then it doesn't pan out, and you're like, damn, maybe I didn't want, like, I just wasn't ready. I think this is one thing that I knew in Tokyo, I knew I was going to leave. That was one of the loneliest feelings I ever had in my life. And I should have, people like, it's the Olympic Games. How could you be sad? I'm like, it was something like, I don't know, I believe in God. It's almost like God was like, all right, come on now.
Yeah.
It's time to walk. So I did. And now I'm here. But it was like, this voice has been telling me for 7 years. We've had a pilot for 7, 8 years now. If you're going to do it right. Yeah. So I had to integrate people, but I didn't want, it's like my fear of losing it by control is what got me to start now sharing it.
Okay.
Yep.
But I mean, I think the idea that you have is grand, so it's kind of hard to put all that on your own shoulders.
For sure.
You have to accept that too. Once you accept that it takes a village to do what you need to do or what you want to do, it also can be a little easier to digest. You get people behind you that believe in what you want to do and believe in you, and it's not going to be easy, I don't think. But I think that if you trust what you're doing, then you will put the right people where they need to be, and the right people will come to you.
Right.
And the mission will. You took a leap of faith when you left to do this on your own.
I'm still in the air.
Yeah, you used to be waiting to land, right? But yes, I think you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path.
Who is your village?
You're looking at my village right here for my podcast. These guys are my village. I mean, I have a few other people not in the room, but I trust these people 100%. And if I didn't, then I couldn't give 100%. I have to give all my faith and all trust into people that could take everything away. But if I don't give them that trust, then I don't think that I can give them everything that they need to do what I want. But I believe in them. I believe in them 100%. So what could happen is the people that can hurt you most are the people who are closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to take that risk.
That's profound.
I mean, but you got to take that risk.
No, for sure.
And I mean, I don't look at it as a risk, though. It's not a risk. It's a leap of faith.
Absolutely.
I believe in them.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
They believe in you.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure, man.
Under Armour.
Yeah.
How did you? People listening don't know anything about you or what's
sure.
going on. But Under Armour believed in you,
Yeah.
and you're on this podcast because I believe in you, and I was introduced to you because someone else believed in you.
Yep.
So there's a common energy there. People believe in you. So let's talk about why Under Armour believed in you and what they did for you.
They have. Thank you for believing in me.
Absolutely.
I'm getting emotional. They have an access and opportunity grant that did not exist when I first reached out. And again, I left USA Track and Field March 1st was my last day.
Yep.
Yeah, March 1st. I was messaging people before then. You know, I ain't crazy.
Yeah.
But Nike, they're very stingy. I hope you change your mind. Adidas, I just didn't know how to write grants at the time, but they didn't even respond.
Dang.
And there's a few other companies, but they do really great work in the community. I tried to target those ones first.
Yep.
I knew Under Armour had done some community investment, so I just reached out to someone I ran against in college. She, not directly against her, but our schools competed against each other. She said there was nothing. Check back in, and then this is how the universe will shift for you. You know, if you're willing to just say, all right, boom, this is the step I'm going to make. A week later, she said, oh, great news. There's a grant opportunity that opened up. I submitted you guys won.
Wow. That simple.
You know?
You already had the submission, but it wasn't available. She hit you up and said, I just went ahead and did it when it popped up. That's dope.
But I didn't know they had money though. I was like, hey, are there I really messaged for a product grant.
Yep.
I was like, hey, we need uniforms.
Yep.
There's a lot of barriers in youth sport too. There's a lot of great people that get pushed out of this arena of youth sport because you spend it. I love car washes, but I pray we don't ever have to do one.
Yeah, right.
I pray we never have to buy candy. I'm from New York where there's kids that might be hustling you for an AAU tournament, but some of them really might need to go,
Right.
I'm really thankful that we had that opportunity, that they, Tynell is her name, that Ty helped us out, and I'm just hoping that that's always something that we never have to take into account. We just always have some money that we can go to North Carolina like we're going to do this summer and compete.
Yep.
Get in front of some competition and just change how these kids think.
Yep. How
they deal with conflict, how they deal with anxiety, regardless of which college coach is going to be there.
Yeah.
But you need to see a world that exists outside of you. So that's what Under Armour did for us.
Good.
For sure.
Dope. I'm going to ask like a job application question.
Sure.
What has been your biggest challenge to date, and how did you get over it? And I mean, coming from England to right now.
I'm not going to give you a job interview answer.
Oh, I don't want a job interview answer. I want a real answer.
I had to work with two partners, and
I told them that they can do it and overcome it.
Getting out of my own way.
Explain that.
I still struggle with it, but I'm very if I can't conceptualize it, it's hard to attribute myself with it.
Okay.
If I can't conceptualize it, it's hard to attribute myself with it. So I will spend time investing in our scholars, in myself, or whatever. Actually, I'll talk about John specifically. So John, again, the kid that won 3 state titles, he won the hurdles, the short hurdles. He broke the state record indoor. He won the 300 meters outdoor.
Wow.
His 4x1 team ran the fourth fastest time ever in Indiana history 2 weeks ago.
Dang.
They won again on Saturday. He also long jumps very well. John's father and I were connected through my neighbor. And he's like, hey, my kid needs help. He was already good, though. He won state last year in the hurdles. He was already good, but he's like, my son needs help.
Yep.
Let's work. So we get to work. And I worked with John, but not a whole lot. Like, we changed his start, and we changed how he sprinted.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him an approach in the long jump, and then it was kind of like our interactions were not as consistent. He's not one of the kids that's going to come to practice 3 days a week, and I need, hey, coach, can you? He's not like that. But when I see him run, I can see that's us right there.
Right.
You can tell with track, you know, whatever sports, you can kind of say that the technique, the crossover, he wasn't.
Right. He got that from
correct.
Yeah.
So when I see him, or even with I coach at Lawrence Central, I can see some of the kids that they paid attention.
Yeah.
With John, I can see our work, but because I wasn't there with him. He wasn't calling me, and he's not that kind of kid anyway. It was hard for me to be like, yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
And can I say your name here? Okay. Yeah. So my girlfriend, she's like, we were arguing about it the other day. She's like, why do you self-sabotage? Because I'm like, well, he didn't really. Even though I can see,
even though literally you just explained that you see you in the young man, totally didn't, because he doesn't fit the same criteria as everyone else.
Correct, and he doesn't like engage the same way. His family, I don't know if this is on purpose. Black mothers are very funny, bro. So we're sitting in the stadium. His coaches are over my right shoulder, but I don't know this.
Yeah.
And she's like she's watching them do the long jump. She's like, oh, that's you, coach. That's you right there, coach. Like really loud.
Talking to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then I get up and the whole Brownsburg coaching staff is sitting right there. See her purple. I was like, I don't know if she's trying to, she's, saying something.
Yeah, right, right.
But the parents have always been very congratulatory of me. Thank you for helping. Yeah. Great work. But with him, I never really got to say, he's not been like, yo, coach, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So that's for me, I'm like, But I do that with everything.
Yeah.
And it almost I just put myself back in a rut when I do that. I'm like, I'd be on cloud nine, we did.
I think, how can I help you with this?
Come on.
Because it's okay to congratulate yourself. It's okay to appreciate yourself. It's okay to be happy of your successes. It's fine. And once you accept that, you can do it even better because you're holding yourself back by not accepting them. And by holding yourself back, you are not allowing that relationship with that young man to be better than it is as well. Mm-hmm. Just because he doesn't do that with you, you can't say, hey, man, I'm looking at your stride and you know what? We did that. And he'll be like, you right, coach, we did. Dap it up, hug. Right. It might come out, you know what I mean? But you're holding yourself back. You are right. You get in your own way.
I do.
I mean, you gotta get out of your own way. You gotta accept your greatness.
Yeah. Because
some people are just great. Yeah. And you are helping others become great. You can accept yours. Mm-hmm. And you can't teach somebody to be great if you don't accept your greatness.
It's true.
For real.
I would never define myself as someone that's arrogant. There's always a line. When you're sure of the work you put in, you're not going to be the one to be like, look at,
Right.
So it's never that. But also sometimes it's good to know hey, man, it was good. You received that. You received the work, the hours I was watching video and she's trying to sleep and I'm on the iPad or, reading the article, those it's good to know sometimes hey, that clicked. And a lot of times it does, most of the kids, they show love. It's just, sometimes I'm just like, maybe I got to work harder.
Yeah. Do you think at this point in your life, you consider yourself successful?
Nah, I got debt.
but okay. Well, what would you define as success then?
Oh man. Oh,
Like, do you have a moment that you're trying to reach where you'll say, if I get to this point, I've done it? Or is there something that like you don't have in your head what you think successful people look like?
I think the really shallow answer here is, shallow. I want to take care of my family through the fruits of my labor.
Yep.
And that's always number one,
Yeah.
buy mom a house, of course. But success to me is the world changing because of the work that we've done, I've done,
Yeah.
we've done.
Yep.
As an organization. That would be success for me, knowing that there's a formula that exists now because of the effort that we put in.
Mm-hmm.
Or people see this thing differently.
Yep.
The conversation is different. Have you ever thought about it? Like,
yeah,
that's success to me. And that would, we're trying to get paid, but that would be more important to me, knowing that the world shifted because of the work of what we're doing.
Yep. Okay.
Can I flip it to you?
Yeah. What? You want to ask me what my
Definition of success?
My definition of success is when I'm able to see the fruits of my labor. Like when I'm at a level where I can help other people become successful. And then I see their success allowing others to become successful because of them. I would say that I'm successful, even if it means that I'm in debt or I have things to do, because I just think that success is having successful people around you, helping build success. If I'm at the level where I can help people become successful, I'm happy. I don't have a ceiling. I just want to keep going up. I gave an analogy one day where I don't hike. So there's a mountain that I'm trying to climb. And if I get to a certain point, at that point, I'm just going to bring people up to it. I don't need to find another mountain to try to climb it. I'll just help other people get up to where I am and then keep being successful at that level. That's how I feel. I just think that I want everybody to be happy at a certain level of success, and everybody's definition is different, and it's not right or wrong. It's just that I think that we get lost in this this way of thinking that I have to accumulate so much to be successful instead of sharing my knowledge, my experience with others so that they can become successful when I reach a level of comfortable. I think we should be comfortable at some point. Money's great because it allows us to do things.
Right.
But I just believe people can have too much money.
You have too much money?
I think some people can have way too much money. So money is not my goal.
Yeah, okay.
That's not my goal. Money's a byproduct of being successful for me. When I'm successful, money's going to be there. Yeah. However I got there. It just ends up there.
How does the pod tie into your ascension on this hike?
So my podcast is important because I get to meet people like you, right? So the mission of the podcast is to highlight people with stories like yours so that other people may be motivated by that journey or my journey or someone else's journey. And I use it as a platform to do other things like live events and do other things. Like it's just a start of a small little bean that I'm trying to grow into a tree that bears fruit. That's how it is. I have the opportunity to meet extraordinary people.
Yeah.
So I use it as a platform for others to hear your story. That's it.
Appreciate the platform. I was watching the couple clips on the Coburn place.
Yeah,
that was dope, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really dope place, Coburn Place.
Yeah.
Well, I have one final question for you. Do you eat cereal?
I don't.
You don't eat cereal. I know you drink tea. I know you like tea.
You think because I'm British I drink tea?
No, I don't think because you're British you drink tea.
wait. Actually, can we do something?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a couple of phrases.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lead you with an English accent.
Okay.
But I want to hear your best English accent. Yeah.
Saying the phrase that you're going to tell me.
Correct.
To say.
I'm gonna be as New York as possible.
And I am terrible.
This is great content.
Okay, let's go.
We on the hike. You know, this is the pod that's gonna.
Okay, yeah. This is gonna be the viral moment.
Come on.
Okay.
Yo, bro, I need a bottle of water.
Yo, bruv, I need a bottle of water.
Hey, you know what? It's not half bad.
Yo, bruv, I need a bottle of water. Just take the T's out.
Yeah, all right. So yeah. Okay. So calm. Yeah. So calm. All right. So this is what
Big up.
So I'm all right. This is game on English accents.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that English accents, like, there's a Caribbean influence in England.
Yeah.
So like water, like someone say water.
Water.
Like
water.
What you're trying to say.
Water.
Yeah. But like Americans recognize like the posh accent, like water.
Water.
All right, so let's try it again, yeah.
Okay.
Yo, bruv. No, what I say? Yo, bruh. I need a bottle of water.
Yo, bruv. I need a wait. That's I'm trying to say it like you did just now. Yo, bruv. I need a bottle of water.
It's all right.
I need a bottle of water.
Water. There we go.
I need a bottle of water.
Yeah. All right, calm. All right, one more. Yeah.
Okay.
LeBron James is the best basketball player ever. Come on, you got this.
LeBron James, the best basketball player ever. LeBron James, he's the best basketball player ever.
Fam, the way your eyes is like. We'll say basketball.
Basketball. LeBron James, the best basketball player ever, bruv.
That's a big up you, bro.
Right on, man. Hey, how can people? Well, we already did the email. Drop it again.
Yeah, the website is www.
The website
www.atathletics.org.
And Instagram
is Advancement Through Athletics. One very long word.
Just at Advancement Through Athletics.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow them, please. Show. Thank you so much for coming. If I can be of assistance in any way, please let me know.
Please.
Yeah.
We have a lot of high shelves, so yeah.
Yeah, I can come get boxes off. I'm taller than you. You know, I know many people aren't taller than you, but, you know, I do that. And I appreciate you coming. I appreciate the work that you're doing. Please accept your greatness. Accept it.
I appreciate it.
And I want to see it shine the next time I see you. I want you to show that confidence. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's not arrogant. It's confidence. And that's a good thing. You know, that's my advice I'm giving to you, big brother, little brother.
I'm taking it.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming out. Season 4 is on the move. It's going. Follow D Money. Please go to the website, followdmoney.com. Check out all the socials. Follow D Money Pod. Thanks for listening. Thanks, show. We'll see you guys next time.